Here I have a Chevy Cruze with a 1.8 liter engine, and the customer states check engine light is on, scan the system, and I found a link condition P0171. On these Chevy Cruzes, they're notorious for having the hose, the air duct hose, torn where those rivets or ribs are, and that is a special coverage from a dealership. They'll cover it. And also notice that the bank 1 sensor 2, the downstream, the postcard was dead. It was flatline and it wasn't registering a proper reading. I introduced a vacuum source and it didn't change reading on the O2. I introduced alternative fuel and it did not change. So I replaced the O2 sensor in the air duct hose relating to the P0171. Reset fuel trims, clear the light, retest drove. But the long-term fuel trim was still at around 18. Right now this is my long. Right now it's at 4, but before it was at 18. It was still pretty high. So I smoked the intake system. I pulled the brake booster hose and I smoked it and I couldn't find any leaks. I checked the exhaust for cracks, allowing too much air to come into the exhaust. I spent about an hour trying to find it and I could not find it. So what I ended up doing is, on the purge valve right there, it has that hose that goes to the throttle body and that back one that comes from the tank. So I removed it from there and I plugged it and ran the engine, and somehow the fuel trims would drop from 18 down to 4 where it's at right now. So it was pulling a vacuum, or it was pulling air, unmetered air through the purge valve when it was commanded on, or whatever, however that worked, and allowing the fuel trim to read high or go into a lean condition. So then I plugged it back in and it went back up to 18. I did it a few times to verify. I put a new purge valve in it, clear the lights, and reset the fuel trims. It ran for 30 minutes and I was able to keep it at 4%, long-term fuel trim, short-term fuel trim 0, and the O2s are reading fine. Right now it's off, so it's just kind of like static reading. But that's kind of another thing. Sometimes, like, you'll smoke the intake system, you'll smoke like everything. You'll look for exhaust leaks. You can't figure it out. But also check your evap system. Make sure that it's sealing properly and not allowing air, unmetered air, to go into it, because it will pull a vacuum through there, and if it's not sealing properly, then it will create a leak condition. So this is just a quick video on on this Chevy Cruze here that I have with a lean condition, and I actually had a few parts that were kind of messed up, so I replaced that. Trims dropped from a 25% down to 18, but it was still not where it should have been. So the light came on, so I kind of continued diagnostics. That's kind of what I found. Alrighty, well, thank you for checking it out.